Hey guys, this is Courtney, also known as Golden XO on Instagram, and today I'm hanging out with Lena Lashes. So I'm so excited to be here. So I actually did this really cute rose gold look, and I topped it off with some glitter, and then I used a really nice cool tone lip just to really bounce off the look that I really like this look, you guys. So if you want to shop the look, hang around and check it out for some really cool products too. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it. So I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm going for more of a, I don't know, I want to say like negative space, something that's rose gold. We're going to use some Lena Lashes products, so we'll get into it. So first I like to start with any like flesh tone, like bone colored shadow that you have, something that's more so white, because I like to go ahead and just highlight the brow bone with that. So that's what I'm going to do. This is a Morphe 508, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend out the white. So now we're going to go into this Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, and I'm just picking up this shade right here as a transition shade basically. So anything that's more so close to it being like flesh tone, and we're going to go ahead and just blend out that white basically. And I always like to start over here and just do circular motions. And your transition color is always going to go somewhere in the middle above your crease, just below the brow bone basically. And take your time with blending. There's no rush, you guys. Like, you just gotta take your time. Alrighty. So now I'm going to dip into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. It's a little bit, you know, it's looking a little rough, but this is one of my favorite palettes. So I'm gonna dip into Venetian Red. It looks more so like a pink, and I'm going to work that right on top of the transition just to get some pinks going up here in this area. And I'm using the same brush. And we're gonna try taking the shadows more so like all the way in. It's okay if it looks a little vibrant right now, but we're gonna blend it out. So I'm gonna go back into my Colored Rain palette. Let's say if your shadows is coming out like a little too pigmented or anything like that, I'm gonna tone it down with Princess from the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, and I'm just gonna go right over top that to continue to blend it out basically. So right in this area. And Princess it's kind of, I want to say like a bone color shadow, but it has a little bit of pink in it. So now I'm gonna go back into my Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to pick up Red Ochre right here. I guess it's kind of like a rusted shadow. I'm gonna pick up a little bit. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. You get it from Target. It doesn't have a name, unfortunately. It was a part of a kit. Work it over here, and eventually we're gonna bring it right into the crease and into this socket area. I want to build the product in this area because I'm going to go in later with a bit of concealer and kind of carve out that area. So by me adding more product there, it's really just going to define that area more once I carve it out with concealer. I'm gonna go in with Princess again because it has that pink, so it's kind of flowing with the whole look, and I'm gonna use that just to diffuse out the edges when it comes to the shadow. So now I think I'm just gonna stick with that Red Ochre shade again and continue to build that product because I want it a little bit deeper. Not too deep, but I just want to stick with the whole pink theme that we have going on. So okay, so next I'm going to go in with my Lena Lashes Lemonade palette. I think I'm going to go in with the lightest one, and I'm going to use this shade right here to go ahead and highlight the brow bone. That's why earlier I explained that we just placed down a white color prior to adding this, only because it's gonna make this stand out much better. All right, so you could use any setting spray that you have. I'm just gonna take my NYX Dewy setting spray. I'm going to use this to just dampen the brush. By you doing this, it's just going to make whatever shadow, or even when you're applying it to the skin, it's going to allow it to just adhere to the skin much better because it has kind of a moist area that it's first being applied on basically. So And then, like I said, I'm gonna dip into this one. Can we get into that? Do you guys see what's happening? Like, okay, so I'm going to go back into the red ochre shade, and I'm just going to continue to build up the product, especially right over here, like I explained. I'm gonna keep building it there because later we're going to go in and kind of cut out the crease. So it's gonna look nice if you build the product there. And like I said, you guys, I keep saying this, but it's easier to build opposed to taking it away. So start with a little product and gradually build the amount of shadow you want in that area, opposed to adding too much. Then you can't take it away and you have to start all over again. So now for this area of the crease, because I want to deepen that a little bit more, but I'm not going to go into it with any more like pinks or reds. I'm actually going to use this brown shadow in the corner. It's called Cypress Umber. And I like to first pack the product, especially when it comes to darker colors. I like to first pat it exactly where I want to place it, because where you place your brush first, please remember this, you guys, where you place your brush first is going to distribute the most product. So if you place your brush all the way up here, that's where the majority of the product is going to go. So keep that in mind. Brush placement is huge. So, and then I'm just using circular motions to further blend it out, that's all. And I'm only keeping that darker shade. Like I said, I placed it right here, so I'm only going to keep it in this outer corner area. I don't really want to take that all the way to the inner corner, because I don't want to, basically if you bring the colors closer, then it's kind of going to make the your eyes appear like much smaller, and so I'm going to keep it out here. Okay, so now take any, as I explained, I'm using the Bobbi Brown Concealer in Warm Honey. So now you can take, I like using, this is a nice flat top brush. This one is from Smashbox. It's a number, it's either a 9 or a 6, you guys. and yeah, it's nice and flat top, so we're just gonna use it to carve out the inner corner and create that negative space on the inside. I'm only gonna take it about halfway through, so not all the way through. So we're not doing like a complete cut crease, just basically like a half cut crease. I'm going right above, if you guys can see right here, my crease naturally folds, so I'm gonna take that right above that area. So when it does fold, it's not going to transfer on me. You know what I mean? And once I'm done taking it about halfway through, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the product. So now, after carving out that area with the cream, I'm going to go in, if you guys remember from the beginning, we used this bone colored shadow right at the brow bone. I'm going to use that right in the inner corner first, just to set that concealer in place. Now I'm going to go into my Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, and I'm picking up that bone color again, right in this corner, to go ahead and set the areas that we carved out, just so it's set in place, so your crease doesn't move anywhere. And just pat it. If you drag it, it is going to skip and it's going to remove what you had already placed down. So go ahead and just pat it onto the areas that you want to set, basically. So now I'm going to dip back into the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm picking up the shade Antique Bronze. So it has like a hint of like pink, and it's kind of bronzy, and I'm going to apply it in this area right here before we apply like our glitter. And as I said, pack the product. Where you place your product first is where it's going to distribute the most product. So, and I don't want to bring this into the crease. I'm literally just packing it in this area. And stopping there, basically. Okay, so now I'm going in with, this is from the Balm. It's called Batter Up, and it's in the shade, Pinch Hitler? What? Pinch Hitler? And it's basically just, it's just a purple. And I'm going to use this as a base prior to when we get into our glitter. So I'm literally applying this right in the center of the eye, and I'm also going to go over top with a shadow. Now I'm going back into the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm picking up the shade Vermeer right here to go over top. And again, I'm just tapping it over where we just applied that cream base. Now I'm going into the Lemonade palette, and I'm going to pick up that same shade that we used on the brow bone right here, and I'm going to apply this just a little bit more over from the last shade that we just applied. That's what I was looking for the entire time. So now I'm going in with this Lena Lashes glitter. You guys, it's a rose gold glitter. Like, it's in the name of it is Nola. Can we get into it? Look at this glitter, you guys. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. So before I get into the glitter, I haven't come around a great like glitter base. So my little trick, I actually like to use, this is the Kiss lash adhesive. You can also use the Duo lash adhesive. It's the one with the green packaging, and you don't need a lot. Don't use too much. Now I'm going to use this lash. It's called Priska, and this is actually one of the lashes that has an invisible band. So yeah, we're gonna apply these guys. And I kind of like to get the center, place it right in the center first. Then you could go ahead and pull the outer corner and the inner corner. It just makes it so much easier. So you lay that side down. And then you lay the inner corner down. And can I mention that this lash band is so flexible? Like, that's like one of my pet peeves. If it's not comfortable, of course, you're not gonna want to wear the lashes, you know? This lash band is so flexible. So, and that's why I always say cut the lash band so it fits with your eye shape, and it's just gonna make wearing it so much more just better, because who wants to wear uncomfortable lashes, you know? Okay, so now I'm taking these two, these are just one is actually a lip liner, and it's in the color Coco Loco, and the other one is an eyeliner by Jordana, and this is, it's called Round Suede. Just any brown liner that you have, and I'm just lining that under, well, not in my lash line, I'm going to keep that free of product. I'm going to do it actually right outside of the lash line. So I'm first taking Coco Loco. It's really light, and literally I don't do much under here, so I'm just lining underneath my eyes. And then the second one I'm going in with is called Brown Suede, and like I said, this one is a little bit more cool tone, a little bit darker of the two, and I'm just going underneath. So now I'm taking my Benefit Watts Up highlighter. I like to use this as a base prior to going into highlighting. Basically, once you go in with your powder highlight, it's just going to make that powder highlight adhere to the skin much better, and it's going to create a really nice sheen, opposed to, let's say, a highlighter going like all over the face and being like sparkly. So I'm going to take it right over here for today, and I'm not going to apply a lot, but just enough for my powder highlight to adhere to. So now I'm going in with my Lemonade palette, and as we used before with the eyes, and I'm going to go into, if I can get it open, y'all, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Lemonade. I like to use something more so small opposed to it being bigger, just so I know exactly where, just so you can place exactly where you want the product, basically. Like, look at that. How? I didn't even realize. Oh my god. Can we get into it? Get into it. So when it comes to highlighting, some people like to highlight also down like the bridge of their nose. I just like to highlight right here and then the tip of my nose. And just put it right here. And you can bring it down your entire nose if you want to, but I rather keep it over here. So now I'm going to get into some blush. I'm actually going to use, this is one of the Baby Matte formulas. It's a liquid lipstick in the shade Mild Brown. I've actually been really liking using these guys as blushes. So I'm just going to apply some to the back of my hand. I actually like using, this is actually a duo fiber brush. Anytime I use creams, especially as blushes, I like to use duo fiber just because the base of the brush is a little bit thicker opposed to the top, so it just distributes the product a lot lighter and more airbrush, especially if since we're going to be going in with more of a cream, basically. So I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to apply it in this area and then just blend it out. And I'm just dabbing it. I like to use dabbing motions as opposed to dragging the product because then it will kind of almost move around your foundation and etc. So you just want to pat it and really work it into the skin, especially where you want it on your face. So I'm going to go in with my liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Hugo, and it's basically a really nice cool toned gray. Basically, it reminds me of stone, like a stonish color. Really nice and cool toned. If you guys can see that. I'm actually using, this is actually an eyeliner. It's by Estee Lauder. It's just called Walnut Brown. I always like to use a bit of a heavy liner prior to applying my lipstick. So now I'm taking my NYX Dewy Setting Spray and I'm just going to set everything in place, and it's just basically going to mend all the powders and everything that we use just so it looks like skin, I like to say. And this is the dewy one. They make a dewy and a matte one. So I don't like to use a lot, so a little goes a long way. Alright you guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I mentioned, my Instagram handle is GoldenXOO, and all the products will be listed below, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.